Okay, fellas, I guess the next race we need to be discussing is the Dato Nam, weight for age, Group 2 over 1600 metres, and wow, what a transformation over Guillotine this campaign, eh?
Yeah, sure.
Well, he resumed with a win over moderate company, you'd have to say, at Cheltenham a fortnight ago, but he really stepped up to the mark yesterday with his win at a weight for age race against some fairly handy horses. I mean, you've got Maldivian and Alamosa, Zipping, Sirmione, you know, Casual Passes are probably being placed behind him. So,
Sure.
okay, may not have been the best mile race you've ever seen, but it was still fairly solid. It was a handy bunch of horses.
Oh, look, I think these are supposed to be the horses that it will be challenging Weekend Hustler in the big races coming up, particularly the Cox Plate. So I think there would have probably been no bigger smile on anyone's face other than Ross McDonald after that race. I think, you know, they're certainly nice enough horses, but you know, they won't be getting anywhere near within 3 lengths of Weekend Hustler.
They may not over a mile, and certainly a weight for age, but we're talking about Guillotine. He's probably going to be best suited over, you know, mile and a half and further, 2500 and further, and at handicap conditions. So, for me, I thought Guillotine's run was outstanding, considering he's not really suited over a mile, nor at weight for age, and he's being prepared for the Cups.
Yeah, sure.
I think it was a terrific Cups trial.
Yeah. Look, I think he brought himself right into Caulfield Cup calculations with that run for sure. I just don't have any faith in any of the horses there. To be honest, to be getting within a couple of lengths a Weekend Hustler.
Even over the Cups
considered. Yeah.
Over 2400.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's a big statement. I think it's probably the Caulfield Cup at Cox Plate are foregone conclusions, in my opinion. You know, I think we're talking about the place getters here.
Well, that's great, because this is what I love about this. I mean, I've got totally different point of view. I don't think Weekend Hustler is as dominant as what people think, and I think he's certainly going to be challenged once pressure races start. I mean, the other day when he won over a mile last week, they ran first 1,000 in a minute 5, and he's an opening plate and Newmarket winner. So for him not to win that race in the manner in which he did would have been disappointing, because he's run home in sub 33 because they've gone a minute 5 the first 1,000. So he had plenty of juice left in the tank. And
they can do his win though, are they?
Yeah, I know. But again, the horses he beats aren't flash. Yeah. I mean. I don't know, there were a bunch of stayers resuming mostly, first up over a mile, you know. But I think in the high pressure races, I think they'll close the gap on Weekend Hustler, and he's yet to prove himself as a stayer. Your thoughts, young man?
It was great to see Guillotine come back and show the potential that we've all known that he's had from day one. The horse, prior to EI, he was considered to be the most promising horse in Sydney, and he turned out to be a little bit disappointing in the autumn. I think the horse probably suffered from being a bull and at Randwick.
Probably a little immature as well.
A little bit immature, but you know, Randwick's not horse's heaven for stallions. You know, I'm sure at Lindsay Park he's got a nice big paddock, and he's enjoying life a lot more, and he's a lot happier with.
He has improved considerably.
Well, I just think he's showing the potential that he's got.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's improved, but his win was full of merit. He attacked the line. You know, the horses that he beat. Well, there might be a question mark there, but really they're the horses that we're seeing week in, week out.
The fourth place horse, Maldivian, sorry to interrupt, the fourth place horse Maldivian did run Weekend Hustler to a neck only a couple of starts back.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so it's
look,
they're not that bad.
She's up running third though. I mean,
yeah, that does put a little bit. But you've got Alamosa in the race, and Alamosa was only like half a length behind Weekend Hustler and a JJ Liston.
Look, I will say that
when like fantastic one. So some of these horses are, you know.
And yeah, that's why I said that's why I agree. I agree. These are the horses that are going to be challenging the bigger guns like the Weekend Hustler in these races coming up.
I think the bigger doubt is the fact that it's at the Valley. You know, the form of the Valley is always a little bit suspect. Some horses will handle it, some won't. Some will go exceedingly good because of the give in the ground. You know, I will make special mention of a horse called Casual Pass who runs second.
Oh, for sure.
That horse, I think he's an absolute freak. I think if that horse had not had the injuries,
yeah. Could have been anything.
It could have been absolutely anything.
He won a McKinnon at 3, didn't he?
Yes.
I
think at the time everyone thought that was a bit of a fluke, and you know, but just his subsequent efforts have shown the horse is just an outstanding horse, and the training effort to get him there and racing like that from Peter Morgan. full credit to him. I think that it's tremendous to see that horse going around, and his effort was good. Look, Tears Cry, I know that he was a 50-to-1 winner of the mile race last year, and again there's a question mark there, but his previous run was very good. I think the horse is probably a little bit underrated.
He is underrated.
And I don't think he's a mugget at all. So his effort was quite good yesterday. It was one of the better runs. I thought that the Alamosa was a fraction disappointing.
I agree.
Yesterday, his previous efforts were good. Maybe he didn't handle the valley. Give him another chance. There's a huge boom on him. He's a very expensive horse. They pay a lot of money for him as a stallion prospect, so there's a lot of pressure there. And boys, see what he makes.
What did we make of Maldiven and Pompey Ruler? The two both had some really impressive runs this time in. I thought both probably had some excuses, but I still think that on face value both looked a shade disappointing.
Pompey Ruler, second up probably over a year.
Yep.
We may have to just forgive him that, because his first up run was outstanding. He took a lot of lengths off Weekend Hustler on the run home.
They can do that though, are they?
Yeah, they can.
They can have a really big run first up, and
they certainly can.
They're never sighted again for the rest of the preparation.
But I'd just like to give him one more chance and see how he goes next start.
Give a good horse another chance.
Yeah, certainly. And as for Maldivian, he's not as dominant as he was last spring, but once again, that was during EI. I think it's a lot stronger spring this year.
Sure.
So he may have just come back to the rest of the field a little bit.
His biggest competition when he was at his best there last year was an underperforming Miss Finland, I think.
100%. Very disappointing, Miss Finland.
The point I'd like to make there about Pompey Ruler is, I think again, second up, I think that's a very valid point that you make. After a long break, you quite often find that horses that have had that long break will put in a flat effort second up. Everything that he's done this preparation prior to that with Mick has been very good, and the reports from down south is that the horse is going enormous, so I'd certainly give him another chance. One
last thing I'd just like to discuss, boys. Your thoughts on Guillotine and where he goes from here. If we look at history, which it's certainly always one of the best guides, if not the best guide to the future, winners or place getters of the Dato 10, formerly known as the Fan, haven't got within a sight of winning at Caulfield Cup, let alone placing. But they've certainly gone on to run in the first 4, first 5 in Cox Plate. Now I think Guillotine certainly looks like a better Caulfield Cup prospect, but they may consider paying the later.
The reason for that, I think, is because previous winners of the Dato Tensionale, or as you said, the Fiend, have been weight for age horses that were probably restricted to over a mile at best, and maybe to 2,000.
Sure.
But here we have an actual genuine Cups horse winning the race. In his instance, I think it's a little bit different because he's not a weight for age miler, is he? He's a stayer that won this race, and I think that's,
You might remember El Segundo won this race leading into one of his better springs, and he was one of the shortest price. Yeah, he was one of the shortest price favourites for a Caulfield Cup in history.
He just didn't stay the distance.
Yeah, on a bottom weight, and didn't really get the distance.
Just didn't get the distance. But this fella's different, I think.
Yeah,
he's
for mine, I think they'll take the weight for age path into the Cups.
I would.
And try to get him any more
penalties. Yeah.
Well, he's exempt from ballot now, isn't he?
Well, that's right. He's in the race, and he's going to be the weight horse for both races. So
he may surprise this spring. I think he may show up again in weight for age.
I do too. He's a high quality horse. Well, even back before EI, as I mentioned before, he was up there with the forensics, the triple honours, those sort of horses. He was ahead of them.
Oh yeah. So in around McGinney's last campaign, he was only beaten 2 lengths behind Weekend Hustler and Triple Honour. And that's over a mile.
And he was not racing.
No, he wasn't racing well. So I think it goes well for him.
With the right trainer, right breeding, you'll have the right jockey, and looks like he's got the right timing.
Well, he's a half to efficient, isn't he?
Yeah, he's half to efficient.
I will say though, he was with David Payne, and I certainly don't think that the way he was performing had anything to do with that. I think it was really more the conditions of being at Randwick and just being in that type of environment. He just
well, Lindsay Park.
Lindsay Park's just
It's heaven in for horses.
Well, it's just giving him a new
different
lease of
life. I agree.
Some horses love the stable environment and being in that, but
This fella's appreciated, yeah.
colts,
The
they
bigger
just
open spaces.
they do.
Different
Well,
training
the
conditions.
beauty of it there is that they can give you both. So
Yeah.
you can, if they thrive more on that smaller environment, they can give them that. If they need the paddocks, they can do that. So that's why the Freedmans and Hayes, they just tend to find the key to these horses.